The most used symbol is the caret. It goes underneath the line. You add a letter, or you can add an entire word. That's the caret symbol. The next most common symbol is the delete symbol. You can delete a bunch of letters or a bunch of words with it. The close up symbol is really good for just closing up extra spaces. Whoops. If you wanted extra spaces to be one word, that's how you would do it. Delete and close up is the delete symbol plus the close up symbol. To add space, you use this sort of pound sign because you don't want words to run together. You use the caret to insert that. To transpose letters or transpose whole words, you use this swirly thing like this. Or like this. The stet symbol reinstates deleted material and can also mean as is, to call out an unusual spelling. So if a copy editor was copy editing this phrase here and wanted to make sure that the proofreader or the editor didn't change it, they would put the lines, the dots underneath, so to indicate that it stays the way it is. So if you accidentally deleted a word as a copy editor and wanted it to be reinstated, you would put the dots underneath to tell everybody, nope, sorry, also should stay. To run in two lines, you just attach them with this snaky motion. To add a paragraph indent, do this kind of backwards P in front of the line that should be indented. When a copy editor circles a number or an abbreviation in text, it means that the typesetter should spell out those circled items. And you would also do in the margins or right above, if you had space, SP in a circle, just to reinforce what you wanted them to do. Adding periods looks like this. Caret and a dot in a circle. Caret and a dot in a circle. If you have commas that you want to turn into periods, you would just circle them. And typesetters would know how to do this. So you'd add it at the end of a sentence. To insert commas, you put a roof or a hat over the comma. It's all about visibility. So periods are circled and roofs go on commas, so the person inserting these changes knows that this is a comma and not just a stray pencil mark. Next, apostrophes. Again, they might be misconstrued as a stray pencil or pen mark, so they get a little insertion. Same thing with double quote marks. They sit on a little hat. Authors really like to use parentheticals, and as you know, they travel in pairs. They can be misconstrued as letters. So we put these little hash marks in them when we insert them with carets, of course. Hyphens, another thing that can be misconstrued. They get a caret and it's a little equal sign. And then at the end of the lines, when copy editors are working on paper, these all need to be sort of hand drawn in at the end of lines. Doesn't come up too much these days. The other type of insertion for dashes, so we've got hyphens, we've got N dashes and M dashes. N dashes are a little bit longer than hyphens, and they're used for numerical ranges, like that. M dashes, like parentheticals, are overused by authors, and authors will often type in two dashes, and those need to be marked with the M. To make a letter lowercase, you just put a strike through it. If you wanted to make the whole word lowercase, you strike through the first letter and continue the line across the entire word. To make a letter uppercase, you get 3 lines underneath. Small caps, so these will be set like this, it's 2 lines underneath. To add italics, for emphasis or for a title, you underline the text that you want italicized. For boldface, you do a squiggle line underneath what you'd like to set in boldface. To delete boldface or italics or any other kind of character styling, you would just circle it. Circle what you want reversed out of this character styling, and the typesetter will revert to Roman. If you want to be extra careful about giving directions, you could put ROM for Roman type in a circle. To set something flush left, so often people are inserting tabs where they don't need to be, and you want to get rid of that on paper, you just do this to make sure that the text gets moved over to the left. The reverse of that, if you want something indented, you'd push it that way. And then if you wanted text centered, you put one on each side, this little construct on each side. Those are the most used copy editing symbols. Now, in the wild, in a manuscript, it looks like this. All of these symbols come together with your text and form this roadmap for the typesetter to implement these changes. As you'll see, there are queries here for an author. So an author reviews this before the typesetter gets to it. But I'll mark up the first couple lines so you can see how this becomes this. In practice, we are changing this comma to a period. We're adding an S where it's missing here. There's an extra word. We are deleting. His eyes became fiery is spelled incorrectly. We're transposing those letters. As he glared at, I'm thinking he's glaring at her. Maybe add an M dash here. Ask the author. Change OK. We're going to add a comma here because these two sentences are acting a little strange together. We're adding a comma. We're changing this to lowercase. We're adding the word not here and also asking author if this change is okay. When I first did this, I inserted a semicolon, but then I wanted to set it. We'll leave it alone here. One more change. We're going to add the end quotes for this little quote here. Change this comma into a period and uppercase that S.